So he breaks up with her after 9 years, says she's not wife material, and then, wait for it, he comes crawling back because the coworker he left her for, yeah, she didn't even like him, like at all, threatened to report him to HR. So now he's sending flowers to her job, showing up at her parents' house, and saying he's haunted. What could this guy possibly want? You're not gonna believe the answer. Okay, so let me take you back to the beginning, because the full story here is honestly kinda heartbreaking. This girl, Op, she met Nate when they were both teenagers. And for 9 years, he was basically her entire world. Like not in a cute, healthy way, in a way where she completely lost herself. She helped him through depression, like really bad episodes. She was there holding his hand, getting him out of bed, making sure he took his meds. She also helped him keep his grades up in college. And here's the thing, she was a college student too. So she's juggling her own classes while also being his emotional anchor. But it gets even more intense. His parents actually disowned him for nearly 3 years because they didn't agree with the major he chose or the college he wanted to go to. So guess who stepped up? Yep. Op worked 2 jobs so Nate could focus on school. 2 jobs while she was also a student. I mean, think about that for a second. She's burning herself out so he can build his future. Eventually, his parents came back around, started talking to him again, started financially supporting him. They moved into a new apartment together. And Nate, he tells her he wants her to quit her job. He says it's his turn to take care of her now. And for 16 months, everything was actually great. He spoiled her. She finally felt like she was getting something back. But then, he started changing, got more interested in his new friends, started ignoring her completely. And she's just watching this happen, feeling more and more invisible. Then December rolls around, and he does this complete 180. He love-bombed her hard, like really went out of his way to make Christmas magical for her. Gifts, surprises, all of it. She honestly believed he was going to propose. She was sure of it. And then January 2nd comes. He makes her favorite dinner, sits her down, starts giving this speech about how she's his first love, how she's been there since high school. And she's sitting there, heart pounding, thinking any second now he's gonna pull out a ring. But no, he dumps her. As his speech went on, she said her world just fell apart. He tried to sugarcoat it, but basically he told her, and I'm paraphrasing here, you were a good girlfriend, but that's all you'll ever be to me. A girlfriend. I don't see you as my wife. I don't see you as the mother of my children. He told her she served her purpose, that he didn't need her anymore, that he needed someone on his level. And then he called her a gold digger and gave her 30 days to move out. She couldn't even speak. She just sat there in shock while he stared at her, waiting for a reaction, for 20 minutes. 20 minutes of silence before he finally said he'd sleep in the guest room and left. And here's the weird part, she didn't cry, didn't get angry. She just went online, ordered cardboard boxes, and went to bed. Sometimes your brain just shuts down, you know, like it's protecting you from feeling everything at once. That was January 2nd. The day 9 years ended with a speech that basically reduced her to a placeholder, someone who was useful until she wasn't. So the next day, she waits for Nate to leave the apartment, doesn't say a word to him. Then she calls her boss and basically begs for a transfer anywhere at all. Her boss says nothing's available right now, but she'll keep her in mind. Then she reaches out to everyone she knows who isn't also friends with Nate. And thankfully, her cousin says she can stay in her spare room for as long as she needs. Moves in right away. Here's the thing, it only took her 4 days to pack up 9 years of her life. 4 days. And during that entire time, she didn't see Nate, didn't speak to him. She doubts he even noticed she was leaving. And she made a really smart move, honestly. She didn't trust herself to ignore a late-night text from him. You know how that goes. You're sad, vulnerable, and then they message and you cave. So she blocked him, blocked everyone close to him. Then she went even further, changed her number, changed her email, made sure he had absolutely no way to reach her. That first night at her cousin's place, that's when everything hit her, like a truck. She cried every single night for the first month, just sobbing, feeling like absolute crap. She kept replaying what Nate said over and over in her head, that she wasn't wife material, that she was just a girlfriend. that she'd served her purpose. She said it made her feel like she was nothing, like he only stayed with her because she was just there, convenient, until he didn't need her anymore. But here's where it gets better. Her cousin didn't just let her wallow. She sent for Op's mom, other cousins, real friends, gave her an intervention, the kind she badly needed. And Op admits she wouldn't have made it that first month without her cousin. Slowly, she started healing. She's still waiting on that job transfer, hoping to get out of the same city as Nate. A fresh start, her own place. She knows that would do her a world of good. And she thought by now she'd be a distant memory to him, just some ex-girlfriend from his past. But then, he sent flowers to her job for her birthday. And not just that, he'd been going to her parents' house too, multiple times. Her mom told him to F off, but he kept showing up, dropping off stuff, trying to ask questions about her. And the flowers came with a card that said he'd been thinking about her non-stop for months, that he needed to get something off his chest, something that would haunt him for the rest of his life if he didn't tell her to her face. So now she's torn. Everyone in her life says ignore him, but her curiosity, it's killing her. So she's trying to move on, right, healing. And then boom, flowers show up at her job for her birthday, which was on Sunday, so these are belated birthday flowers. And inside, there's a card from Nate. It says, and I'm quoting here, "Dear Op, happy belated birthday. I've been thinking about you non-stop for the last few months, especially with how everything ended. I need to get something off my chest that I feel will haunt me for the rest of my life if I don't tell you this to your face. But I have no way of contacting you. If it's possible, can we meet up in the near future?" Wait, hold on. He's the one who dumped her. He's the one who gave her 30 days to move out. And now he's haunted. Okay, sure. But here's the thing, this wasn't just one attempt. Her mom admitted Nate had been coming by their house multiple times, dropping stuff off, trying to ask questions about her. Every time, they told him to get lost, but he kept showing up. So now Op is torn. Everyone in her life, her cousin, her mom, her real friends, they all say ignore him. Don't meet up. He's not worth it. And honestly, the Reddit community had some pretty brutal, amazing advice. One person said, "Just because he needs to say something doesn't mean you need to hear it. I doubt it's anything that would add value to your life. He's likely wanting to alleviate guilt." Another pointed out that regret isn't accountability. Like, just because he feels bad now doesn't mean she owes him a single second of her time. And my personal favorite, someone called his message the relationship version of clickbait. Think about that. "I have something really important to tell you, or it will haunt me forever." That's literally clickbait. And has there ever been a clickbait title that was worth your time? Exactly. Another comment said, "He's not thinking about you with this. He's thinking about himself. Whatever he wants to unload on you, it's so he can forget about it and pass the hurt on to you." Which is honestly such a good point. He's not doing this for her. He's doing it for himself. And then there's the theory that he tried to monkey branch, swing from one relationship to another, and it didn't work out. So now he's circling back because she was safe. She was reliable. So everyone is telling her, don't go. Don't give him the satisfaction. Let it haunt him. That's his problem now, not yours. But she can't help it. Her curiosity is just too strong. She has to know what he wants. What could possibly be haunting him this much? So despite all the advice, despite everyone telling her to walk away, she decides to meet him. All right, so she agrees to meet him, sort of. She didn't actually go to him. Instead, she told the receptionist at her work that if Nate showed up looking for her, just say she's out for the day. Smart move, honestly. She didn't want that drama around her job. But Nate, he didn't give up. He started going to all the places he knew she liked. The grocery store she goes to every Saturday evening. The park she runs at on Sunday mornings. He said he'd just keep showing up until he eventually ran into her. And sadly, he did. He was waiting at the coffee shop she goes to after her morning run. When she saw him, her first instinct was to turn around and leave. But he kept calling out to her. So she thought to herself, if this goes bad, a coffee shop with people around is safer than her work or home. So she sat down and asked him flat out, "What do you want?" And here's where it gets predictable, honestly. He gave her an apology that wasn't an apology. You know the type. I'm sorry, but... And then a whole lot of pity me. He blamed his mental health, blamed his job, blamed his parents, blamed his friends, everyone except himself. Classic, but she didn't let him off the hook. She took someone's advice from Reddit and just said, "Cut the crap, I already know everything." And his face, shocked, genuinely shocked. He stared at her for a second. And here's the best part. He assumed his coworker had already told her everything. So he couldn't lie, he just spilled it. Here's what really happened. For the last 2 years, Nate had been obsessed with a girl in his office, idolized her. And when he said her name, Op knew exactly who he was talking about. She'd met her a few times. And to be fair, Op admits this herself. The coworker is beautiful, amazing personality, the whole package. But here's where Nate's brain completely broke. He actually started hating Op, hating her, because he thought she was the one stopping him from being with this coworker. Why? Because the coworker was too classy to be a side piece. I mean, read that again. He was angry at his girlfriend of 9 years because another woman had morals. Wild. So when he broke up with Op in January, he immediately confessed his love to the coworker, told her he just ended a 9-year relationship to be with her. Big dramatic declaration, right? And you're gonna love this. She doesn't even like him. Like at all. She called him a piece of trash and told him if he ever spoke to her outside of work, she'd report him to HR. That's not a rejection, that's a nuclear rejection. So here's Nate. He threw away a 9-year relationship. He humiliated Op on January 2nd. He called her a gold digger. He said she wasn't wife material, all for a woman who wants nothing to do with him. And now he's back, sending flowers, stalking her routines, waiting at coffee shops, saying he's haunted. Op just looked at him and asked, "What does any of this have to do with me? We're over. I cut ties. There's no reason for us to speak." And Nate, I swear I'm not making this up, said he wants to try again. Promised they'd get married before the year ends. Said they belong together. She told him, "I'm nobody's second choice." And honestly, that line alone, perfect. She reminded him that he threw her away after 9 years, said some incredibly cruel things. And now he thinks if he just snaps his fingers, she'll come running back. He started begging. Fake tears. Bringing up the good times, trying to guilt her. She told him to please leave her alone. He'd already wasted too much of her time. Then she texted her cousin to come meet her at the coffee shop. And while she waited, Nate just kept talking. Nonsense. At one point, he actually suggested they go to couples counseling for a few months. Couples counseling. For a relationship he ended. With a woman he dumped for someone else. The audacity is honestly impressive. She said the 20 minutes it took for her cousin to arrive felt like 20 years. So she just stopped listening, walked over to the counter and started making small talk with the baristas, just completely checked out of his drama. Finally, her cousin showed up, told Nate to F off, said if he tried to follow them, she'd call her brothers. And as far as Op knows, he just stayed there in the coffee shop. They went home, and Op said it's only been a day, but she feels free, finally free. The only downside, she has to change her morning routine now. No more 6 a.m. runs alone. No more that coffee shop with the amazing breakfast wraps. She's not taking any chances. She'll go grocery shopping with her cousin instead. But honestly, small price to pay for getting that guy out of her life for good. So that's one story about being accused of nothing and still having to defend yourself. But here's another one that hits kinda close to home. A guy, let's call him Op, has a sister-in-law. Every Friday, he takes his niece to daycare. His wife used to do it, but her work schedule changed. So Op volunteered to rearrange his own work schedule, start at 10 a.m. instead, just so he could help out. And he's been doing this for 4 months. No issues, no complaints. He always answers when she calls. Everything's fine. Then one day, they find out she installed cameras in her house. When his wife asks why, the sister-in-law just says, "You never know." Wait, what? You never know what? You never know if the guy who's been helping you for 4 months with 0 problems might suddenly do something. That's the implication. His wife directly asks, "Has my husband done anything that made you concerned or worried?" And the sister-in-law says, "No, but it's a safety issue. You never know." Again with that phrase. So Op tells his wife, I'm not comfortable going into her house anymore. I don't want to be around her daughter if she's that concerned about me. And his wife agrees. It's weird, right? He's known this woman for over 16 years. And now, with no incident, she needs cameras because you never know. Other people in the family say he's blowing it out of proportion. But here's the thing, she didn't install cameras when his wife was doing the Fridays. Only when he started. That's not neutral, that's a silent accusation. So Op sits down with his sister-in-law and his wife. He asks her directly why the sudden urge to install cameras. She says again, safety, you never know. His wife pushes, keeps pushing. And finally, the sister-in-law admits she was never comfortable with Op watching her daughter unsupervised. Never comfortable. For 4 months, she let him do it anyway. Didn't say a word. And why? Because he was too eager to change his work schedule. It came off as insistent. Creepy, even. Her family now thinks he's weird. So Op tells her, I'm done. I won't take your daughter to daycare anymore. Find someone you actually trust. And she tries to give him a sob story about how they're being unfair, how she's just trying to keep her daughter safe. But Op holds the line. If you don't trust me, you shouldn't want me around your kid. That's just common sense. And honestly, it's the same pattern as the first story. Someone does nothing wrong, helps out of kindness, and still gets treated like they might be a threat. No evidence, no incident, just suspicion based on what? Being a guy, being helpful. Op decides to step back completely. His wife supports him, but the rift with her family, that's probably never getting fixed. So yeah, 2 stories, same lesson, trust your gut, and don't let people make you feel crazy for setting boundaries. She said no to being second choice. He said no to being treated like a suspect. Good for both of them. If you liked these, there's more linked right here. And hey, if you want to catch the next one, you know what to do. Thanks for hanging out.